I saw some of the clear toy molds, which are really fun to look at. Did Shane's actually make clear toys?
Shane's didn't make clear toys. They did carry them through an East Coast wholesaler, most of whom aren't around anymore.
So that's something that is very traditional to Philadelphia and this part of Pennsylvania. The clear toys are very popular here, but it will be new to this store.
Correct. It'll be sort of a glistening winter wonderland of magical proportions. I love the idea of sort of taking shapes and creating little villages. You can imagine a train set going around a Christmas tree. Well, populate it with reindeer and Santa Clauses and glistening hard candies in all different shapes and forms. And you begin to realize what Charles Dickens was talking about in the fun that Christmas traditions could have for young and old.
A standard hard candy. So all it really is water, sugar, and corn syrup. Usually gets boiled to about 300 to 320 degrees, and then it's poured immediately into the molds. You'll see it's kind of a balancing act trying to get it all in there. And these molds are so intricate that it's sometimes really hard to hit just the right spot.
And what differentiates each batch is color?
Color.
And you use food color basically?
We use gel food coloring. When I started we used a liquid, but I find that the gel gives more of a depth of color.
So everything tastes, all of the clear toys have the same taste.
Yes.
And you were saying that sometimes it has a kind of a cotton candy taste. What makes that happen?
When you cook sugar further and you caramelize it, the properties definitely do change, not just the color, but the flavor.
And if you caramelize it, will that particular batch be a different color?
It will. You'll actually see when we start popping these out, the sugar is continually cooking in the copper. So it's going to go from a light red to a deeper red as you go.
And the taste also changes.
Just a little bit, yeah.
And that large wand-like thing you have, what is that?
That's our thermometer. It's a very, very large industrial thermometer.
Doing that so slowly.
Just to start, it'll get faster as we go along.
Is there a reason you need to start slow?
What the sugar tends to want to do, because it's cooked so high, is it wants to bubble and foam over. And that just produces a really messy kind of product.
What temperature is that at when you take it off?
About 310 degrees. No burns yet, but knock on wood.
Those are some pretty heavy duty oven mitts you got there.
That they are.
And the molds are made from?
All different kinds of metals and alloys. Mostly cast iron, I believe. Ryan would know a little bit more about the metals that went into it. Some are aluminum. One kind of candy that I had no idea existed until I started working here. And the idea that so many years ago, children would actually play with these toys and then just wipe them off and enjoy them later It just reminds me more of a simplistic time. Candy does not have to be complicated at all. You can make something beautiful and a work of art, and it could taste horrible. I like the fact that we're putting this time and effort into creating this new chapter to a long-standing story.
And to prepare them, do you lubricate them with something?
We do, with olive oil. I believe when I first started, a lot of candy makers said to use coconut oil, but we kind of like the neutrality of the olive oil. It doesn't impart an aftertaste after it's wiped off.
How long do those need to cool before you can free them?
Oh, anywhere between 5 to 20 minutes. The larger the mold is, the longer it's going to take to set.
What colors do you make toys in?
Usually just the three traditional: red, green, and this golden clear color, I guess you could call it.
Is that golden from the sugar caramelized?
It is.
And those are the ones that taste more like cotton candy.
Yeah, I would say so. Usually after we're done with Clear Toy, all of us probably should go to the dentist. I think we eat far more sugar than we need to.
How many do you lose just because they crack?
Oh, it really depends on how well we've poured the batch. Sometimes we can lose between 20 to 30 pieces.
In a batch of how many?
In a batch of about 100 or so.
Can you just melt them down?
No. One of the properties about sugar that's kind of fascinating and a pain in the butt is it can recrystallize, and once sugar recrystallizes, it is no good to anybody.
Why not?
Because it refuses to melt down again.
Are there uses for broken clear toys?
Well, it keeps our staff happy, and it also provides me with lovely sugar for my morning tea. It's great. It's almost like keeping a folklore alive. I can only imagine what, future generations are going to be telling their kids.
Heating the mold a little releases.
When the molds get too cold, the candy is going to tend to want to crack.
Oh.
So we just kind of want to warm it up just a little bit.
Nice brown. Having some pressure on all flying.
I know, right? You have to be careful when you work, Carrie. The tendency to consume too much sugar is way too tempting.
This is my favorite little man.
Oh, that's your favorite one?
Oh yeah. Between this and a frog on a bicycle.
Oh yeah, love that one.
There we go. He's perfect.
So he would be a baby.
My own little babar.